Today we're making chicken saltimbocca. Now this is a dish that a lot of times people order out because they think it's difficult to make at home. But guess what? I'm here to show you it is super simple, and let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start on our chicken, right? Get some chicken breast and cut it out. The goal here is to make this a 1/4 of an inch thick. All right, so we're going to put it between between a plastic baggie. It's a shortcut. But I'll be honest with you, use parchment paper. It's much safer. If you want to, the microplastics, all that business, use parchment paper. I'm switching to parchment. Just saying. Right, so we're just going to pound this out to 1/4 of an inch. Just make it all even because we want it to cook it evenly. All right, I think this looks pretty damn good. Perfect. Let's prepare the rest of them. Now that our chicken's all pounded down, we're going to season it. So listen, don't season it with salt. I beg you, do not season it with salt. Okay, the prosciutto's salty enough. You're going to add a little bit of salt in your sauce, and you do not want this over salted. So season both sides with some fresh ground pepper. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some sage just to the one side. Okay, these actually are really small, so I'm adding like a little more than I usually would. Usually I use about 3 of them, but I want this to have a nice sage flavor. Okay. Then we're going to take our prosciutto di Parma, and we're going to do a wrap around. So you usually need like 2 slices for this. All right, make sure it's secure and it's covering everything. Cover your little sage pieces here. Okay, and then it's done. We're going to move on to the rest of them. Then we're going to flour them. Now that our prosciutto is wrapped, we're going to put this in just a little bit of flour. Just going to get a tiny dusting on this. You don't want too much flour, so make sure you shake the excess off of this. Okay, now we're going to the pan. So I've added 2 tablespoons of olive oil to 1 teaspoon of butter in here, and I smashed 2 garlic cloves because we're going to take them out, once they do their job. Okay, so now we're going to start laying our prosciutto covered chicken in here. So I'm putting the ugly side down because I want it to adhere to the sage so it doesn't come apart. Okay, we're going to put these in here real nice. Okay. Don't crowd your pan. I have one more piece, but I am not going to crowd my pan. I'm just going to do it after. Okay, I'm going to give this pan a little shake. Okay, looks like the garlic has done its job. It's ready to come out. We're going to discard that. Okay, I'm going to start flipping these over to the other side. Got a nice little crisp on the end there. It's okay if some of the sage falls out. No big deal. Okay, and we're going to cook this on the other side. We're just going to cook it until it's done. 165 degrees. Now that our chicken is at 165, we're going to take it off. And just give it a little flippity dippity. Woo! 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 All right, let's get started on our sauce. Now it's time to make the sauce. We're going to do crushed garlic clove. Get this beautiful in here. Actually, put some sage leaves in there to give it a little more of a sage flavor. You can add more if you want. And, okay, definitely more sage. Okay. I think this could use a little crushed red pepper for a little kick, a little balance, of course. You know me, I gotta add it. Taking the garlic clove out, it did its job. Okay, just getting this fried up for a second or two. Getting the sage leaves to release their oils. And now it is time to add a cup of dry white wine. I'm using Pinot Grigio. Any other dry white wine will do. Woohoo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Be careful. Don't do what I just did. When you have a hot pan. Okay, we're going to keep this in for a couple minutes. Then we're going to add our chicken broth. Probably like a minute or two. And we're doing a cup of chicken broth or chicken stock. Try to use the low sodium so you can control the salt content. Okay, now we're going to reduce this down to like, for like 5 minutes. So it's like almost half the liquid. Now that this is reduced by about half, we're going to add a beautiful tablespoon of butter. All right, we're going to get this melted in. And then we are going to add back our chicken. Okay, make sure you get all the juices in there. Okay. So the idea is we just want to warm this up. We kind of just want to baste it because we don't want it to like lose its crisp on top. So we're just going to baste it a little bit. So it's not like directly seeping into, or sitting in the broth. Oops, I forgot to add salt and pepper. Make sure you taste your sauce, right? Add some salt and pepper to taste. Whew, whew. That's a relief. I remembered it. Yikes. Okay, time to take these out. And next, we're going to plate. Now it's time to plate and sauce. We got some beautiful mashed potatoes on the bottom. And our lovely Saltimbocca sauce. Let's eat in.